Caddx Protos ready-to-fly kit includes everything you need to fly and costs $359 at the time of making this video. The Protos is a small, durable FPV drone. Please don't ask me how I know it's durable. The Protos has a takeoff weight of 103 grams on my scale and an HD video transmission, which Caddx calls ascent. As a special feature, Caddx offers a unique type of signal strength display in the ascent video transmission system, where the image switches from 16 to 9 to 4 to 3 when video reception is poor, to prevent the video signal from cutting out during flight and causing the drone to crash. I'll come back to this later in the video. The Protos from Caddx features various flight modes from position hold to angle mode and up to acro mode, from easy to difficult. In the easiest flight mode, the position hold mode, the drone almost hovers by itself. I'll explain these flight modes in more detail later in this video. Furthermore, there is a flip over after crash mode to flip the drone back upright, as well as a beeper to help you find the drone after a crash. That was very helpful during my test flights, as you will see later in the video. I was always glad that I found the Protos FPV drone again after a crash, so I could continue making professional flights with it. For example, blowing leaves or enjoying the sunset and watching the beautiful colors of the leaves on the trees. In my view, these are also the main use cases of the Caddx Protos FPV ready-to-fly kit. Learning FPV flying and then making relaxed, careful, smooth flights within a range of about 100 meters. Light aerobatics like flips, rolls, and loops are also possible with the Protos. The flight time varies between 8.5 minutes when hovering at 22 degrees Celsius ambient temperature, and up to 5 minutes during light aerobatic flight at 15 degrees Celsius ambient temperature. More about that later in this video. I made an in-depth video review of the Caddx Protos, and I made it so detailed that it is also a manual for those who decide for the Protos. You can find the link to my complete Caddx Protos video guide in the video description of this video. Watch this video to be fully informed. As already mentioned, the Caddx Protos comes with everything needed for flying, and also for storage. The Caddx Protos FPV Beginner Kit comes in a transport case, which protects the contents during transport. In the Protos Beginner Kit from Caddx, there is the Protos drone, 3 lithium-ion flight batteries, a charger for the flight batteries, a power supply for the flight battery charger, a USB-C to USB-C cable, a remote controller, a USB to USB-C charging cable, FPV goggles, a battery for the FPV goggles, an XT30 to barrel connector cable, 4 spare propellers, a spare canopy with screws, and a microfiber cleaning cloth. The plug adapter for the flight battery charger had to be purchased separately and is not included in the kit. An interesting detail of the Protos remote control is that it features Hall effect gimbals and that the remote control uses an ELRS protocol and can theoretically also be bound to other FPV drones that use an ELRS link. However, it does not have a display, no trim function, and no other options. According to Caddx, the remote control can also be used as a simulator controller, which I have not yet tested. Caddx and I recommend that you practice on an FPV simulator before your first flight with the Protos. The Ascent FPV goggles are of relatively good quality and can be equipped with optical lenses for glasses wearers, which are not included in the package. The fit on my head shape was okay, but not perfect. There were light leaks from both sides from the back. Of course, this depends on head shape and may be completely different for you. The head strap is sufficient, but I would have liked an additional strap that goes over the middle of the head to the back to better distribute the weight of the goggles. All in all, the Caddx Ascent goggles are absolutely usable, and for some people great, and for others okay. Something is only included in the first 200 orders of the Protos, according to the Caddx website. I don't exactly understand what it is. I think it's the power supply for the flight battery charger or some kind of USB cable. I'm not sure. But I want you to know that possibly not everything you see here is included in the kit you receive if you are not one of the first 200 buyers. I find it a bit unfortunate that Caddx does it this way, but it is what it is. The biggest advantages of the Caddx Protos Ready-to-Fly FPV Beginner Kit are, in my opinion, the completeness of the Ready-to-Fly kit, as well as the simplicity with which the Caddx Protos kit can bring you into the wonderful hobby of FPV flying. And of course, also the price, which is very low for such a complete Ready-to-Fly FPV kit, at least as long as you are satisfied with what the Protos can offer you and you don't want more. I will come back to this later in the video. The strengths of the Protos drone itself are the good flight time and the robustness up to a certain degree, as well as the special feature of the Ascent video system, which allows beginners to easily and clearly learn the limits of video reception as long as they fly slowly. More about that later in the video. In summary, my conclusion is that the Protos is robust enough and quite suitable for beginners. However, the Protos has its limits, which you will get to know if you watch this video all the way through. From my point of view, the biggest disadvantage of the Caddx Protos Ready-to-Fly FPV Beginner Kit is that parts of it, such as the Ascent FPV goggles and the flight batteries, are not compatible with other systems. More about that later in the video. I think many people will enjoy their Protos. There is no right or wrong. The important thing is that you inform yourself well before buying and know what you want. That's why I made this video, to give you good information before and after buying the Protos. I made an in-depth video review of the Caddx Protos, and I made it so detailed that it is also a manual for those who decide for the Protos. You can find the link to my complete Caddx Protos video guide in the video description of this video. Watch this video to be fully informed. I hope you liked the video, and if so, you can support my work on Ko-Fi.com, give this video a like, write a comment, and subscribe to this YouTube channel if you want to be informed when I make a new video. I will make at least 2 more videos about the Protos. Also check out the tutorials on this channel about learning FPV flying and line-of-sight flying. In the next videos, I will push the Caddx Protos even further to its limits and answer any questions you might have that you write in the comments below this video. I will also answer all questions in the comments under this video within 3 to 7 days. Please write in the comments what you think of the Protos and/or what experiences you have had with your Protos. My experiences with the Caddx Protos kit were generally good, but because I pushed the Protos to and beyond its limits, it no longer works properly. Externally, it is still intact, but due to several crashes from greater heights onto medium hard ground, something inside the electronic components is probably damaged. In any case, the video reception is now significantly worse, and the 25 milliwatt setting is practically no longer usable for me. In the 100 milliwatt setting, it is still flyable. The second problem is that sometimes my Protos no longer connects to the remote control after being powered on. Then I have to remove and reinsert the battery, and usually the connection works again. Also, the flight modes no longer work as usual. In flight, I often can't switch between angle mode and position hold mode anymore. And sometimes I can't switch flight modes on the ground either. Then my Protos gets stuck in one flight mode. Sometimes it helps when I turn the flip over after crash mode on and off again. All these random problems show me that something in my Protos has broken. However, it still flies, and I hope I can do more test flights for you, at least as long as the motors hold up. From my point of view, they are not badly designed, but the play in the bearings and the slightly too thick motor shaft show me that it is probably not the best motor quality. I'm definitely curious how long the Protos will last for me, and of course, I will keep you updated. Stay tuned.